Hi, everybody. Dr. White here, the founder of the Business Analysis Doctor. Today, I'm going to be giving you my top 5 tips for business analyst interview success. But before we get started, take a moment to subscribe to the page so that you don't miss out on any business analysis mastery tips. So let's get to it. Tip number 1, understanding the purpose of resumes versus interviews. Candidates that are applying for business analysis jobs must understand that resumes and interviews have two very different purposes. And this is especially true for the business analyst role because business analysts are charged with being adept in various soft skills and hard skills. So let's talk about some of the differences between the two. Resumes are generally used as a screening tool to see if you meet the minimum requirements to perform the role. Essentially, a resume is an initial assessment of whether or not you possess the hard skills to perform the business analysis role effectively. Interviews, on the other hand, are what decision makers use to gauge whether or not you are any of the following: 1, a good fit for the organization; 2, a good fit for the department; 3, someone they'd like to work with; and 4, someone who can make their life easier. Keep these 4 points in mind as you answer various business analyst interview questions. This is what the interview is essentially trying to uncover when they ask you the famous "tell me about yourself" question. So be sure to present your questions or your answers in a way that covers those 4 points. Tip number 2, pick your recruiter's brain. During the initial phone interview, after you've answered all of the recruiter's initial questions about you, use that time to gather any information that might be useful to you during your actual interview with the hiring manager. The first thing you should always ask is the name and title of the hiring manager or the interviewer. Casually ask the recruiter for information about the hiring manager. Take note here, as this information might reveal information that might be useful to you and might give you some clues about the hiring manager's personality and the type of people that they like to work with. Also, try to get information regarding the organizational culture, the team culture, and then also ask why the hiring manager is looking to fill that business analyst role. This is key to figuring out how you, as a candidate, can make that hiring manager's job a little bit easier. Tip number 3, investigate Facebook and LinkedIn. Use these platforms to see whether or not your Facebook friends or LinkedIn connections have ever worked at the organization you're applying at. If you're able to find one, try to ask them questions about the overall organization, the culture, but specifically the department that hires the business analyst. If you're really lucky, your contact may or may not be familiar with the hiring manager and may be able to give you some information regarding their personality or their managerial style. If your contact doesn't know anything about how business analysis works in that organization, try to see if they can refer you to someone who is actually a business analyst or was a business analyst within that organization, and try to connect with them to ask them questions about their experience as a business analyst within that organization. If you don't have any contacts that worked at the organization you're applying at, use LinkedIn to search for business analysts at that organization to check out general profile information such as education, skills, certificates, or experience to see how you stack up against them. Also, these individuals might have some content or some posts that might give you a little bit of insight on how business analysis work in that organization, or maybe the overall culture of the company. Now, I don't recommend going to the hiring manager's profile because they're able to see that you visited their page and they might find that a little creepy. Also, look at the company's LinkedIn and Facebook page to see if you can find any information in the comments or the posts that might be useful to you during interviews. Tip number 4, be prepared for the 3 main types of interview questions. The first type of interview question is the knowledge-based question. Hiring managers generally ask these types of questions to candidates that have less experience in order to gauge how well they are familiar with the business analysis fundamentals. These also might be questions that align with the information that you present on your resume. So some examples of knowledge-based questions related to business analysis might be, how would you explain the SDLC process? Or describe some of the common business analysis deliverables. Or maybe, how would you describe the difference between waterfall and agile project management? So you're going to want to answer these questions in a way that demonstrates your knowledge of business analysis terminology, the SDLC process, an understanding of business analysis techniques and deliverables, as well as your understanding of the various project frameworks and methodologies. The next interview question type are behavioral-based questions. These are questions used to highlight your personal traits as well as how you might respond to external factors such as stress, time frames, or ambiguity in a specific situation. Hiring managers will ask these questions to assess the level of soft skills you have related to the business analyst role. So some examples of these types of questions might be, how do you make sure that all stakeholders have a shared understanding of the requirements? Or maybe they'll say, tell me about how you would handle not having enough time to complete project requirements. Or they might ask you how you would handle frequent project changes or new requirements. Your answers should demonstrate that you possess the soft skills that are essential to the business analyst role, such as being a good communicator, being adaptable, holding yourself accountable, and being able to manage your time. Now let's talk about competency-based questions. These questions assess the application of the skills that you've presented in your resume. Hiring managers want BAs that get results, so they'll use competency-based questions to detect instances of successful application of skills that they believe are relevant to the BA role. Now, various studies have shown that the best indicator of future performance is previous performance. So be prepared to demonstrate how you've been previously successful in the scenarios that are given to you by the interviewer. So some common competency-based questions related to the business analyst role might be, tell me about a time you've overcome and resolved a major project problem. Or tell me about a time you've had to handle difficult stakeholders. Another example is, tell me about your most successful project and the role you played in that initiative. Or they may ask you to tell them about how you would begin any new project that you're assigned to. Tip number 5, use the STAR method. The STAR method is a well-established technique for answering behavioral and competency-based interview questions. It involves describing the situation, task, action, and result of the situation you're discussing with the interviewer. So again, the STAR formula includes situation, task, action, and result. So let's break these down. The situation is a specific problem or an event that needed to be addressed. The task represents your role and responsibility in the situation. Action represents the approach or the steps that you took in order to address the situation or scenario. Result represents the outcome of the actions that you took. This is where you want to make yourself look like a superhero. Demonstrate how your actions contributed to the successful resolution of the problem. So let's apply the STAR method to a competency-based question regarding business analysis. We'll use the question, tell me about a time you overcame a major project obstacle. The situation might be, I was assigned as a BA on a project regarding data integrity issues where the two key stakeholders were unable to determine the source of the problem or a potential solution. The task could be, as the business analyst on the project, I was responsible for helping identify the problem and recommending a solution. Your action could be something like, I facilitated a root cause analysis using the fishbone method. And this led to uncovering that both stakeholders were actually incorrect about the root cause of the problem. And this is because they both were only considering the symptoms of their very own department and not considering the external contributors. The result could be, By considering the external contributors, not only were we able to resolve the initial problem, but we were also able to improve the process by increasing daily productivity by 15%. So notice how in the example, we talked about your contribution to the situation. While it's great to be a team player, you have to realize that you are the only person having that job interview. So the hiring manager is only interested in your contribution to the success of that situation. Well, those are my top 5 tips for business analyst interview success. I hope this information is very helpful to you in your next business analysis interview, and I wish you the best of luck. Have a productive and prosperous week, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.